Hello, everybody. This is Laura from Healthy Carnivore. I'm just going to give a quick synopsis of how I got to where I'm at. I am a registered nurse. I have been in nursing for over 23 years now. And in 1991, at 313 pounds, I went to a bad doctor, but I'm thankful for him now, who wanted to throw me on a statin because my cholesterol was high, my triglycerides were over 1,000, and it just didn't feel right to me. So I went and studied the old way. This is before the internet, 1991, and studied up on nutrition, health, really how the body works, the you know the molecules that we need for the body. All these things I went into, really studied up on that, and then just kind of went home, cleaned out my pantry, took it to the food pantry, which I would not do now. I would just throw it in the trash, but I essentially got rid of everything white: potatoes, rice, sugar, pasta, breads, everything, and really just went whole keto, just meaning it came out of my garden. I hunted it, I fished it, whatever it may be. So then let's see, I was 26 years in to 28 years of keto, and then the keto treats came out, and I am not a moderator. So if something tastes like an Oreo candy bar, I'm going to eat several of those. So the Quest bars and me were not friends, and I ended up trashing my gut. My hormones went wacky, all kinds of stuff happened. And then watched a Joe Rogan podcast, which I had never seen one before, with Dr. Baker, and talking about carnivore. And knowing my personality, I'm an all or none personality when it comes to every single thing in my life. So I knew I was going to jump on that the very next day, which is what I did. So in February, it will be 7 years that I have been doing that. So that's a little bit about me. So if you like this video, please hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, that would be great. And if there's somebody you want to share this out with, that would be also wonderful. As much information as we can get out there. I really like to get as much of it spread out as I possibly can. I should have a sore throat. I've been canvassing my neighborhood, getting signatures to try to unseat the Illinois governor, and going door to door to a lot of people today. So, all right, let's see who's here. Tara, hey, and rocking Coach Amy. Hey, you're getting closer to your date, right? Was it the 22nd? I think you said. You're in the car driving to choir practice, but I'm listening while driving. Good. Yeah, you don't want to look at this and have to hear it at the same time. You poor thing. Wendy, hello. How are you? And Simpson is here. Awesome. Good, good, good to see you guys. So I'm going to jump into tonight's thing. I still have to call all my patients for tomorrow, so I'm going to try to keep this a little bit shorter than what I did, I think, last time. So I'm going to just jump in, and we're going to go over what this condition is. There's actually a lot of this out there. Um, a lot more, and it's younger people that are affected by. I'm not saying older people don't get this. The people I have ran into that have come and asked for my help are in their 30s. And I mean barely, like 31 is the one fella. So this is called ankylosing spondylosis. Most of the time you're going to hear it called ankylosing spondylitis. It is a type of chronic inflammatory arthritis that primarily affects the spine and the sacroiliac joints. So it causes pain and stiffness in the back, and it can lead to fusion of the vertebrae over time. It is autoimmune related and part of the broader category of spondyloarthropathies. That's a word. It often starts in young adults, especially men. There has to be something to that. They need to, like, why? So, symptoms of this are chronic low back pain and stiffness, especially in the morning or after some inactivity, like sitting, and then they get up and they really have it. I mean, we all do that as we get older. It's like, oh, I sat here too long. But You shouldn't be having that in your 20s and 30s. Pain improves when you are moving, not when you are at rest. You have severe fatigue. In severe cases, you have reduced flexibility and you have hunched posture, which that's something this fella's already got. You can see it. It can affect your eyes like uveitis, heart, and lungs, which is kind of what I think keyed them into, hey, this is autoimmune. Conventional treatment. Okay. This is conventional treatment. NSAIDs like naproxen, ibuprofen. It says first line treatment, but it's really only quieting down a touch of your symptoms. It's not doing anything to fix it. TNF or IL 17 inhibitors, which are biologic medicines, usually by IV. That is for severe, moderate to severe cases. Physical therapy. I love physical therapy for a lot of things. I don't know anybody who has this that said physical therapy helped. It kind of seems like sometimes it aggravated it. Stretching, posture work, and exercises to maintain mobility. So, some natural alternatives to this is diet. Okay. As we know, you can really wipe out some of these autoimmune disorders. So, keto, carnivore, ketovore, any of that is anti inflammatory and can help. So, carnivore or more strict low carb, like your ketovore diets, they help reduce systemic inflammation everywhere, which may help reduce flare ups and symptoms. Many people with autoimmune issues do see improvements when they change their diet. I would say of the four that I'm working with, all four of them, which is just an N equals one for them, but all four of them have reported major benefits from switching. And they all did go carnivore. One was keto for a few weeks before, but they all are doing carnivore for right now. Elimination diets usually improve the triggers like gluten, dairy, and processed seed oils, which we're all going to be better off not having those in our diet anyway. Some people also benefit from a starch free diet, specifically if they test positive for the HLA B27, which is the Klebsiella bacteria linked to um, ankylosing spondylosis. This feeds on starch, this specific type of bacteria, Klebsiella bacteria, feeds on starch. Some of the supplements that, and I'm looking at the ones that yep. So these are the ones. There's only one on here that I haven't done, although one of the four does use this, but he gets this from someplace else. One is the omega-3 fatty acids because they're anti-inflammatory. Vitamin D, and I always do that with K2, immune modulating, helps with many people that have this condition are vitamin D deficient. All four of these people are. Magnesium, which helps with the muscle stiffness and cramping. Curcumin or turmeric, strong anti-inflammatory that's natural. Boswellia is natural herb for joint support. Probiotics, specifically spore-based gut health, is tied to autoimmune health. Collagen and gelatin. We all know I love cheap gelatin that can help heal a lot of stuff, leaky gut especially. So this one, CBD oil. Some people report pain relief and reduced inflammation. I don't per se do that, but one of the fellas is doing that. Other natural therapies that can help are going to be like regular movement and stretching, yoga type routines tailored to ankylosing spondylosis. And that is something that you can go out there and just type that in, like yoga for somebody with this, and it's going to bring up videos for you that are going to fix that. Posture therapy, um, ergoscue, foundation training. These are just different names of things that you can use. Heat and cold therapy. So, doing like super hot shower and then doing ice cold shower at the end, the last minute of therapy. If you can get to a sauna and you also can do ice plunges, great. Um, I can't afford that kind of stuff. I don't do that, but you can still do it with a very hot shower and then the last minute a very cold shower. You're still going to get that response. Massage and chiropractic care, gentle, not aggressive adjustments. Um, Infrared sauna for inflammation relief. So I'm going to kind of go through something that you could kind of follow if this is something you have. So I kind of started out with like a morning routine, like what would that look like for somebody? So you would wake up, you would do stretching, you would do light movement, 10 to 15 minutes. So if you've ever seen anybody do the cat cow yoga pose, that's one of them. Child's pose, wall angels, slow hip openers. There's all kinds of those that you can do. That they just it doesn't take much time. I mean, it's 10 to 15 minutes. Of course, in the morning, um, I would do like your omega, your D3, your curcumin, magnesium glycinate. I would probably do of an evening. Most people, it kind of helps with your sleep. So I don't think I would take that first thing in the morning. If you are hungry and you are somebody that does eat breakfast, I would cook eggs in tallow, butter, lard, some kind of good fat. I would eat grass-fed beef or bison, deer, lamb is what I would do. Yeah, I would not do pork with this type of diet. I would avoid chicken. I would really only do ruminant meat with this. And it's not a forever thing. It's a can we see if this helps with this? And if it does, you may decide to stay on that. I stay on that. I feel my best. Um, Bone broth or collagen coffee. So just adding the collagen in. And I like the bovine collagen is the type that I use. Hydrating with mineralized water or making sure you add electrolytes. So, and then midday, walking or light activity, 20 to 30 minutes is going to help prevent you from getting that stiffness that you can get. Fatty meats for lunch would be like ribs, steak, liver if you like it, not every day. You don't want to do a ton of liver. You want to do it a little bit at a time. Optional, if you are keto, you could do a side of avocado or sauerkraut if you can tolerate it. You could do bone broth, collagen, and water. It sounds kind of gross. I would do collagen in a tea or something because there's just enough of just like bone taste. I don't think I could do that. So, um, now, if you're somebody that doesn't do breakfast and those supplements upset your stomach, you could take those midday, okay? Probiotics, like we said. Or another thing, I'm going to try to make a video when I get all the stuff of it. I'm going to make that El Ruderai yogurt. So that is something coming up that I will be trying to do. Just I want to see if I can reset my gut even more, see if that's going to be beneficial for me. I'm hoping it will. So afternoon, you could heat uh, or use infrared sauna session, 20 to 30 minutes if available, gentle stretching session, or posture therapy that you've kind of looked at. For dinner, you could do your red meats, you could do wild salmon, you could do sardines if you like those. You could do lamb, duck, more beef. I'm all about beef. I love beef. You could add liver or organ meat a couple times a week for nutrient density, but I wouldn't do a ton more than that. I would supplement, like I said, the magnesium glycinate before bed. I really think that usually works out better helping with sleep. If you do the CBD oil, a lot of times that's better for sleep also. Um, let's see, and a wind down routine. So, like turning off these kind of lights, turning off this video, turning off your phone an hour before bed. Or if you got the blue blockers, I don't have those. I haven't bought those. But if you can get that so you block out that light, that would really be helpful. Some people do an Epsom salt bath where they soak, and that kind of helps because that's magnesium salts. So that will help also relax you and get you ready for bed. Light stretching or foam rolling is another thing that people do. And going to bed a little bit earlier than maybe some of the other people in your house do. I can sleep through a tornado. So even if my house is full of people, if I'm tired and I go in and lay down, I'm out. It does not matter. Does not matter. The only time I can't get good sleep is when the grandkids were little, much smaller, and I would have them because any sound they made, the mom brain would wake up. But I'm past that stage, right? So I don't have to worry about that. So some of the things that I would do for sure if I thought I had this ankylosing spondylosis, I would avoid gluten at all costs, grains, sugar, processed foods, seed oils, dairy, if it triggers your inflammation. That's a test you're going to have to do on yourself to see if dairy does bother you. Optional thing is you could also try time restricted eating where you eat um, you go 14 to 16 to 18 hours without eating and maybe do a 4-hour eating window is probably going to help you. Another thing that you can do, and this is going to be a test, is to test for that HLA-B27. Okay. That's going to kind of help guide you with your diet tweaks. This shows the protein on the white blood cells. It's going to it's not 100% like, yep, you absolutely have it. But most people who have this condition that get this testing, this genetic testing done, if they have that protein on the white blood cells, then they know, oh, yeah, that's exactly what this is. So, yeah, I just say most of the time you're going to know just by your signs and symptoms of if this is something that you have, which I'm so thankful I do not have that because it's pretty life altering for these people. They're younger and seeing them go through that's pretty rough. So I'm just going to look through here and make sure I do not the 20th. Okay. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Let's see. Da-da. Yeah. I can understand that, Cat. And Alex says he's listening. Well, that's good. Rockin' Amy says I can't stand here. He's something. Her surgery is on the 20th. Yeah, that is a week away from today. You'll be fine. Fasting, no glucose. Don't let them give you D5, remember. Um, bone broth. You'll do great and you'll heal much faster being carnivore, I promise you. Hey, Karen. Tara says, excited for you to try the El Reuteri. I know. Okay, so Simpson's asking a question. I have been debating L-Reuteri yogurt, but it's a lactobacteria and I don't eat dairy. So if you feel as if colonizing your gut with a dairy eating bacteria will help. So what the stuff that I ordered actually has three. Let me just tell you what it is. Let's see. Because I can't do anything a little bit. I have to do it a lot of bit. So I'll tell you the strains that are in. Let's see. Upcoming. Nope. 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 Hmm. Maybe it's this one. Can you tell I order a lot of stuff? Well, I'll just type it in again because it's not giving me what I want. L-Reuteri probiotics. So the ones that I ordered actually has three types in it. It has the L-Reuteri. Anyway, I can't find it now. It's in there somewhere. Anyway, it's got three different types. I'm going to use the A2A2 either half and half or whole milk, which has that protection, that protein is taken out. So I am trying that for myself to see if that helps and see if that resets my gut. So I'm not making a huge batch to start off with. I'm making a very small batch, and it'll be my N equals one experiment to see if that helps. And we'll see. Healthy carnivore gut well, I think so she's saying she's been trying to find what a healthy carnivore gut biome would have. I don't even think it is what is a healthy carnivore gut biome. I think it's just what is a healthy gut biome because you want to prevent somebody from having SIBO. And if you don't have the right bacteria in the gut, then the large intestine bacteria crawls up and gets into the small intestinal, which is why you end up with SIBO, C. diff, take antibiotics, wipe everything out. So I think if you look, um, I can't remember the doctor's name, something Dave Wilson. I don't know. Wilson Davis. I don't know. Anyway, I think if you looked his stuff up, he talks about the different bacteria that needs to be in the gut for some of the different processes in the body, the way the brain works, the way your food is digested, the way you prevent other like carcinogens, microbes, other things like that. So I think that's more of what I'm going for. If I'm able to do that milk type and it's great, good. If not, that's okay. I have kefir grains that are water kefir, that if I need to, I can always do those too. So, all right. Okay, Amy, have a good night singing. Let's see. I can't wait to see how much better I heal first surgery since carnivore. Big difference. Yeah. So the L. reuteri is what can keep other bacteria under control. This is Tara. It is not solely a lactobacteria, right? It is a bacteria that we all used to be born with, but gets wiped out on antibiotics, which is true. Dr. Davis, yeah, Simpson. Um, yeah, so yeah. So that's what I read up on today too. I did a deep dive for about 2.5 hours on that before I decided to go out and about and do my stuff. I just want to be able to read you what the other ones were. I'm sorry. Maybe it was this one. Boy, that my internet is really being slow today. Let's see. This is it. Yay, maybe this is it. I found it. Okay. So the one I got does have the lactobacillus. It's got the Gasseri and it's got the reuteri. So it is all three of those because as I was reading about that, the multiple antibiotics I've been over time, had the H. pylori, I had the Helicobacter breakthrough and had an open ulcer into my abdomen for at least 3 months. Um, I lost a lot of weight when that happened because I couldn't eat because every time I'd eat something, it felt like it was falling out of the bottom of my stomach, which it was. So anyway, the multiple ones, I'm like, I bet I don't have those. And I don't know if there's a test out there that you can be like, yes, there probably is, but I can't afford to do it. So yeah. The brand that I have that I got is called oh Humanx. So it's Humanx. So I'll show you kind of what it looks like. Black bottle like that. I don't know why my computer does that, but hopefully that helps. And it is 20 billion CFU. Let's see. Yep. So that's it. That's what's in there. Jerusalem artichoke. That is where one of those bacteria comes from. I was like, oh, that's kind of soon. This is USDA made. It is non-GMO and it has several certifications of, being checked to make sure that its efficacy is good. So yeah. So we'll see. But I'll try it and we'll kind of go from there. So yeah. Let's see. Sharon says check out Ben Azadi's 90 day on carnivore with his gut test prior to and after 90 days. Amazing results. Yeah. I would say I know who he is. I've actually met him at Keto Palooza last year. I would say that my gut has healed a ton over the 7 years because 7 years ago, I could not have eaten a fermented pickle. No, I mean, I could have, but I was going to be sick. I can do that. I don't do it every day. I do it a couple times a week if I feel like I need it. Um, I'm not able to do like the pork, I can't do chicken, the meat, but I can do eggs if they're, natural eggs, and not junk, not being fed junk. But there's a lot of stuff I still can't do, which is what tells me there's something not set right in my abdomen, like in my gut. Still is not right if I'm not able to do these things. Um, I'm lactose intolerant. That's what they tell me. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know. Maybe it's that protein that I have trouble with. I'm not sure. So it'll all be we're going to try and see how this works out and go from there, I guess. Okay. So thank you for this. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do for next week. Um, because it's crazy how many people don't realize what's in their toothpaste. So before I even tell you this, I want any of you guys who don't know what's in your toothpaste or you think you know what's in your toothpaste is to go grab your toothpaste, okay, and look at the very back. Now, I have to blow mine up because I'm 54 and I'm always like, my God, could they write it any smaller? You could not see this with the Hubble telescope. But is to go out there and look at that and see if yours has poison control number on the back and then research why would that be there? Why is that there? Because the amount of fluoride that is in one pea size amount of toothpaste, if you would ingest that, you are to call poison control center. Yet I can promise you, municipality water has way more than that amount. And if you're drinking a lot of water, how come you don't have that warning? I'm just like, yeah, it's not good in the toothpaste. And taking it internally shows there's never been anything that said drinking it in your water helps your teeth. Not one study out there. If somebody can find it, please send it to me because there isn't one because I have looked. There's very little evidence that it helps with children's teeth to help strengthen anything as well or prevent cavities. So, quick question. I am checking out your shampoo recipe from your site and you have nettle in it. Can I just harvest some since I have a lot of that in my garden? Drat. um, you don't even have to put it in the shampoo bars. Um, some of mine, I put them in. I had somebody who wanted scent free, no anything, and I didn't put any nettle in that at all. They didn't want any in there. And they've bought 25 bars from me last year. I think they use them for gifts. And yeah, they prefer theirs without the nettle. So I'm not sure they may have an allergy to nettles. But yeah, as long as you'll have to dry it, which you can do a slow process like on a wire mesh thing in your oven, like on a cookie sheet. And you could do that and dry that and then powder it yourself. If you have like a mortar and pestle, I have, I think I have 10 mortar and pestles. If they ever come looking for me, they're going to be like, what do you need all these for? What are you making? They're going to think I'm cuckoo. Also, a little contact gives me a rash. Does the powder irritate the skin? It can. So you can completely omit that from that recipe. You do not have to use the nettles. The one that I make for myself, which is, I think the one I'm using now, is rosemary vanilla. And I do not put the nettle in that one because I am very allergic to stinging nettles, all nettles. I can't do nettle tea. I can't do any of that. So I would be very cautious. So next week, what I'm doing on Monday is the not so hidden dangers in regular toothpaste. And I don't just say that because I make my own tooth powder and sell it because I sell it dirt cheap. I'm saying this because 34 years ago, this is what I figured out and started doing my own tooth powders at that time. So it's pretty eye-opening what is in there and what those things can do. So that is what I plan on doing for next Monday. So I'm gonna just check one more thing. Thanks, my rosemary oil should be ready in a couple of weeks, so I will make the shampoo to yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you. She says she loves the toothpaste powder recipe. Yes. Easy, easy. Well, you do the powder. I do have somebody that takes the powder and she actually uses it with coconut oil and makes a paste, and then she just does oil pulling with the benefits of that. And I was like, "Oh, that's a pretty good idea." I don't like that consistency. I tried it and I was like, nope, can't do the consistency." So yes, I like the powder version much better, much better. So anyway, I appreciate you guys for being here tonight. Like I said, if you got some value out of this and you know anybody with ankylosing spondylosis, send this out to them. There is hope to try to get this as really actually helped, not just manage your symptoms. Let's see if we can get you feeling better. Because isn't that what we're supposed to do in the healthcare field? It really is. So, anyway, thank you guys. Hey, Bill. Good to see you guys again. I appreciate you. And as I always say, meet, heat, eat, and repeat. See ya.